What is going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with the one, the only Dilly Vanilli. We are here for another week of NFL picks. This time it's week number 11 in the NFL. And last week, Dylan, we came on here. We were all on our high horse. We said, hey, we're better than ESPN in picks. We're killing it. Man, we had a really, really bad week, but I thought that was, for the most part, everybody in the NFL realm of picking. I don't think many people had a perfect week this last week. It was a tough week, and coming in, I said it was going to be a really tough week because there was a lot of matchups that were very close, but in that way, we also learned a lot more about a lot of these teams that were very close. So, that being said, I'm excited to get NFL week number 11 underway because this is another very difficult week to pick games. When I'm looking at this schedule, usually I come in, I have a good idea on who I'm going to pick. I have my list, I have my picks. This week, bro, first off, a little busy to really think about the picks in the first place. But then also, I just couldn't pick. I'm looking at these games and I'm like, wait, I'll get back to that one. Then I'm going down the list. I'll get back to that one. Every fourth game, I'm like, okay, I'm picking that team for sure. Let's just put it down. But for the most part, I usually go back to the ones I don't really know and kind of maybe do some research or think about it a little bit more and put some thought into the pick. But this week, bro, I had to do that for the whole schedule. So I just think this is going to be another bad week for me. I don't know.
You're already predicting. You can't get that negative vibe in there.
I don't know, bro. We'll see. I think the people need to lift me up. We'll see what happens, but week 11 is going to be a fun one. We have some good games. Sunday night football, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Of course, Monday night, we have one of the games of the year, the Chiefs, the Rams, a game that was probably looked at as a lot better earlier in the season, but still a great one. Eagles, Saints. Even games like the Panthers and Lions should provide a lot of entertainment. Steelers, Jaguars, Cowboys, Falcons, Packers, Seahawks, Titans, Colts, Texans, Redskins. I'm going down the whole schedule. All of these games are entertaining. All of these games are fun. And I'm ready to pick them and preview them and get underway. So, Dilly Vanilli, let the people know how we did last week. I regretfully let them know. And also, say hi to Kevole, who is not on the stream this week, but we wish him the best right now as he is going through a move. He's coming back to Vancouver, so that's going to be very fun for him, and we're looking forward to him coming on the show more in the future. But Dylan, let the people know how the picks have gone.
All right. So Kev switched his pick. Of course, this is a rule that we do. We can switch our picks in Twitter before the game. He switched his Panthers pick to the Steelers. It helped him out quite a bit. And the rest of the picks were the same. So it goes as this. Myself and Kev went 7-6 last week, just over the 500 mark. And Mitch went 6-7. So the standings are as follows. Myself and Kev at the top, tied still, 92, 54-2. So we're looking to get that 100-game or 100-win mark this week. And Mitch right behind, 2 games behind, 90, 56-2. But I'm hoping for a better week personally. We'll see how it goes. But it was a rough week, rough week. And considering we all agreed on pretty much every game, it was sad, honestly.
Thank you, Bodo, for donating $20 to the Bottom Line View and to the cause. If you guys want to do that as well, not only can you subscribe to the channel, not only can you like the video, not only can you share it with your friends, but you can also, in the live chat, as we do a lot of NFL live videos, you can press that money sign and show support by donating to the channel and help us create better and more consistent content. All right, guys. Thanks, Bodo. And that's the way we're going to start off. That's good. That's getting us in a good mood. So let's start off week number 11, Thursday night football. No Kevole, but I will do the preview nonetheless. Green Bay Packers at the Seattle Seahawks. This is one of the games of the week for me. Personally, I think this is a really good game. I think this is a game between two really close teams. When I think of playoff stake when I think of just in general, like both sides of the football. I think both teams have very entertaining quarterbacks who make a lot of plays in their own. And then you have defenses that I feel are a little bit underrated. So the Green Bay Packers, the Seattle Seahawks. Green Bay heading to Seattle for it seems like the sixth, or it seems like the sixth time in the past like 4 years. These two teams have played a lot over the past like 4 to 5 years. We've seen NFC championship games between these two. We've seen Sunday night football games. Now we're going to have a Thursday nighter. And Aaron Rodgers had a big win with the Packers last week over the Dolphins, just demolishing the Dolphins, tearing them apart. And the big thing in that game, Dilly Vanilli, was Aaron Jones came to play, and they unleashed Aaron Jones. For the Seattle Seahawks, they are getting their running back. Chris Carson is expected to play in that game. But Rashad Penny last week had his best game as a pro and went over 100 yards. So Seattle can really run the football. Green Bay is proving to run it a little bit better. This is a hostile environment in Seattle. And Green Bay has yet to prove they are a solid road team. I am going to go. The last time they played was 2017. Green Bay won. This was the opener in 2017. I do remember 17-9, very low scoring. I think that this game will be a little bit higher scoring. I'm going to go something. I think it's a 3 to 4 point game. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and whatever one of these quarterbacks can make the play at the end of the game is going to do it. But I honestly think the way the Packers have played so far this year, they're just not the same team at home. That is why I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. Against the Green Bay Packers. Yes, this is a big game for Green Bay, but it's also a big game for Seattle. And getting Chris Carson back is huge. I think they can run the football, establish that run game. Green Bay likes to play a lot of nickel packages. They like to put a lot of corners and safeties on the field. That's not going to be the way to play Seattle. They like to shove the ball down your throat and then work that play action. I think they will be able to do that, and therefore kind of keeping the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. I think Seattle's defense can make a couple of plays here and there, and that will be enough to win the game at home on Thursday Night Football. And you know how I like those home Thursday night teams. So, Dylan, are you joining me here, or are you going to go with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going to go ahead and join you on this one. I'm picking the Seahawks here. Mitch, not only are the Packers bad on the road, they're 0-4 on the road. They haven't won a game on the road this year. Last time they were 0-5 on the road was back in the late 1970s. So it's been a hard minute since the road team of the Packers has been this bad. But the way I look at it is this. Both the Seahawks and the Packers played the Rams the last 2 weeks. They were both very good games. I know it's very difficult to win both of those games, and they had to come out and try to do something. But what I saw in the game last week against the Rams was that the Seahawks were trying to do multiple things to get that game going. They were rushing it down the Rams' throat like crazy, and it had a lot of success without Chris Carson, who's coming back tomorrow night, hopefully. So I saw that there was good potential in that. I see that this team's just a little bit stronger in my eyes, and they're not going to have to – I think the Packers are going to have to rely on Aaron Rodgers getting it done. I know they got Aaron Jones getting it going last week, but I think the Seahawks team is just going to be more stronger in this situation, and it's a big game. 4-1 and 4-5. Both of these teams are fighting for playoff positions, but I think it's bigger for Seattle to get this victory. And in prime time, I think Russell Wilson can get it done. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home.
Okay, Seahawks. We're all on the Seahawks. I thought that we might be a little bit more split in this game. We don't know who Kevole's picking. He's probably picking his Sea Chickens, but unless we're both going with the Sea Chickens, and I'm going to skip over the Dallas game for now because I think that's a prime time attention grabber. So I'll leave it for a little bit later in the picks show. Okay. Right now, we're going to head to the AFC North. We have the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, another huge game between a 5-4 Cincinnati team and a 4-5 Baltimore team. Now, the last time these two teams played was on Thursday Night Football, September 13th. I think that was week 2. Yep. And Cincinnati won 34-23, and they were in control of that game thoroughly. They really put a beat down on Baltimore, and Baltimore's defense had no answer for Cincinnati's passing game. In this game, I am flipping the script. I think that Baltimore will have all the answers for Cincinnati, and I think they'll win this game. Now, the reason why I'm picking them is because Cincinnati thinks their defense is so bad that they hired Huey Headlines to come in.
What?
And Hugh Jackson.
Oh,
Think about this, Dylan. Can you just think about this, okay?
Okay.
What before he got hired to the Browns?
Mm-hmm.
What did Hugh Jackson coach?
I can't even. He was the last thing I remember. He was the head coach of the Raiders. I can't even remember off
Okay, so after that, he was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, okay.
So he goes back to Cincinnati. He's good friends with Marvin Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
He is supposedly a offensive mastermind.
Yes.
Okay? Offensive mastermind. If supposedly. Okay. So he goes to the Browns. He coaches the Browns. Now, Cincinnati needs help on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So they hire
an offensive guy.
An offensive guy. What does that even make? You're hiring the worst head coach in NFL history and a offensive coach to fix one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Cincinnati. 32nd.
To be fair, you've got Marvin Lewis and Hugh Jackson. I mean, it's a great pairing. They both know how to lose together. I think it's great.
Marvin Lewis is a defensive coach, and he's going to be doing the play calls on defense. But to have Huey Headlines in there as the guy, I mean, geez. So 32nd in yards per game, Cincinnati. Yep. 32nd in passing yards, Cincinnati. 31st against the run. 31st in points per game, 32 per game, and 32nd on third down. 56% of the time the other team converts on third down.
They have a winning record.
They are 5-4, Dilly Vanilli. The problem is they were 5-4 because before they had Tyler Eifert and they had AJ Green. What do they not have anymore, Dylan?
Both of those guys.
They're relying on the red rifle, Tyler Boyd, who's played well, not taking anything away from him, and Joe Mixon. But what that means is that the Baltimore defense, who, yes, is still pretty good, ranks second in the NFL in yards per game, compared to Cincinnati's 32nd, at home, where they've been pretty damn good this year, is playing the Bengals. I'm going with Joe Flacco. I think this is a huge game in this division, and whatever one of these teams that wins this game is keeping their playoff hopes alive. I think that John Harbaugh going to come out with a good game plan. The special teams will be part of the difference in this game for Baltimore. The kicking, and I think Joe Flacco will have one of his best games of this season against that shit defense.
You know Joe Flacco's not playing, right?
What?
Lamar Jackson's starting.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Why?
Because Joe Flacco hurt his hip in the bye week.
No, he didn't. Stop lying.
Yes, he did. He's hurt.
I'm still going with the Ravens.
Okay, I'm just letting you know so you know.
Wait, Lamar Jackson is starting?
Lamar Jackson starting.
I need to clarify this. I think you're lying.
It hasn't been it's not 100%, but it's 90% confirmed he's going to start.
Oh. Let me search up Joe Flacco.
Let me search up Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco misses practice. Jackson prepared. My question is, why isn't RG3 starting?
Because I think they're just going to give the rookie an opportunity. Here's the thing. The Ravens are desperate.
Have RG3 on your team then.
Listen, the Ravens are desperate. They're 4-5. They need a spark. They had the golden opportunity in their hands when they beat the Steelers, week 4? They had the golden opportunity. They've lost all that momentum. They've lost close games. Go with the kid. Go with something different. You know what the offensive spark
I'm trying to say to you, it does not matter who starts at quarterback. This defense is so bad.
Oh, I know. No, this is the opportunity for him to get it done. That's, by the way, this is another rookie I'm starting this week in fantasy for BLV. I picked him up off of waivers.
Wow.
This one's better because he can rush a lot of yards, and I'm going to rely on that one. But the thing is the Bengals were so bad. I said coming into last week, they had the worst pass defense in the league, and they got lit up for 51 points against the Saints. Now, are the Ravens the Saints? No, absolutely not. But the Ravens are going to come out here, exploit that, and we're going to see the first professional start for Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to go off. Ravens are going to win.
Ravens. Next game. Carolina at the Detroit Lions. Two of, I would say, the channel's favorite quarterbacks, but two of the public's least favorite quarterbacks. You would put that?
I would agree.
Okay. Yeah. So Carolina 6-3. They had the bye. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They had the bye, right?
Did they?
Played on Thursday. It feels like they've played so long ago. Doesn't it?
It was 6 days ago. Yeah, I guess. It does
Doesn't
feel like.
It feels like they had a bye.
They're 6-4, so they haven't had a bye yet.
They're 6-3.
Or 6. Well, then I guess they already had their bye.
They had their bye, but I don't think it was last week because they played on Thursday last week.
It wasn't.
It just feels like they played so long ago. Maybe it was because they got blown out.
Yes.
But like that was my point anyways. They got blown out. That's the last time they played. And this time they're playing a team that can't do anything but get blown out. The Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
This game is in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolina has not played well on the road.
No.
So this is their chance for them to prove that they can take their game to the road and win a game they should win. And I think that they will, because I just don't see this team losing 2 in a row. So I think Cam Newton and that offense, I think they were, for the most part, playing pretty well against Pittsburgh. It was just the offensive line couldn't hold up. And when I look at this game, I don't see much of a pass rush from Detroit. It has been non-existent for the most part of this season, but especially lately. And Pittsburgh, I think, has an underrated pass rush and really showed out on their home turf on Thursday night. Plus, I think Carolina needed that gap. They'll need that 10 days to get ready for this game. I think they are a little banged up. So that being said, Cam Newton, I think, is going to make some plays. McCaffrey, again, having a great season. These receivers I really like. I am a bit concerned about the secondary in Carolina. They do give up a few too many big plays, and I think Stafford and these receivers will be able to make those plays. But from what I've seen from Detroit's offense, they are missing Golden Tate. They're missing that underneath option. They're trying to utilize Theo Riddick and Kerryon Johnson in that role, but it's just not the same. It's a running back. It's not a receiver. We'll see if Detroit can kind of fix that, but it doesn't look like Detroit is buying into them being a legitimate team this year, as they're 3-6 and they're dead last in their division. I just think, Carolina is the more superior team, and they're not going to lose 2 in a row, especially to a team like Detroit, even if it's on the road where they have struggled. Dylan?
Sorry, I was just responding to Durkant's comment on here. Yeah, this is an interesting game. I like Bodo's comment. The Lions will win just for no reason whatsoever. I think it's a good comment. But I'm going to go with the Panthers. In terms of them being a legitimate threat, it really did hurt what I saw on last Thursday. But the Lions are not a legitimate threat. They're not a team that's very good compared to the Panthers or to the Steelers, who beat the Panthers last week. I think McCaffrey, like you said, has a great season. Love watching him. Cam's going to do well. The Lions are not that big of a threat. You saw the game against the Bears. Even though it was a 2-possession game, 34-22, the score is a lot more deceiving than it actually was because Mitchell Trubisky played so well, and the Lions just weren't able to capitalize on anything going forward. So I think what the Panthers need is a big victory here against the Detroit. 7-3, it's going to make them feel a lot better. Even though it's not against a great team, they need to pick up these victories. So I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah, and would you say the Panthers are still in the conversation to win their division, or do you think that's far gone?
I think they have a 15% chance.
Well, they do still play the Saints twice.
15% chance. I'm going to keep it right as it is. The Saints are rolling, dude. I mean, until I see them lose, I can't really put them any higher. Like, I can't move it any. So
they've lost.
They lost their opener. They won 8 straight.
Okay. All right. The next game is going to be the Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Wow, there are a lot of games between 5-4 and 4-5 teams. There's already 3.
Already 3.
Okay. Tennessee, Indianapolis. Indianapolis 4-5. Tennessee 5-4. both of these teams are playing really good football lately. The Titans smoked, the Patriots last week, had probably their best showing of the season, from defense to offense to coaching to special teams even. Indianapolis, their offense is tearing it up. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They're setting them up and they're knocking them down. And the offensive line is providing to be a top 5 unit this year. Quentin Nelson is just making angry sounds as he blocks people, and it's very intimidating.
Lethal.
They have a running game. Andrew Luck's on pace to only get sacked 18 times this year. He's balling. Their tight ends are machines. They take reverses for touchdowns. Their defense is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Maybe that. But at home, this game is going to provide to be very entertaining. The Titans, we talk about their defense. First in points per game this year. I don't know if you knew that. 16.8. First in points per game. They played very well against the Patriots, and they also beat the Cowboys. And really, they gave the game to the Cowboys in that first half, but the Cowboys just couldn't score on this defense. This defense has been impressive. Dean Pease has really turned it around, and I think Mike Vrabel's had a hand in that as well. This is a tight game. This is a close game. This is a divisional matchup. I don't know if Marcus Mariota can play the way he did last week again. I'm going to go with the Colts at home because I just think that Andrew Luck is a baller. And I just trust Andrew Luck to make a couple more plays. And I don't think this Colts defense is a bad matchup for the Tennessee offense. So I'm going to go with the Colts because they're at home. If this game was in Tennessee, I would probably go with Tennessee. But every once in a while, especially when a team is on a 2-game or 3-game winning streak like Tennessee is, especially after they put, their heart into a game where Mike Vrabel was playing his old coach and Dion Lewis was playing his old team and Malcolm Butler and Logan Ryan were playing their old team, and there's so much energy invested into that game. Usually I tend to go in the opposite direction because that's just the way things shape up in the NFL. So I think the Tennessee Titans will be feeling themselves a little bit, and I think Andrew Luck's going to come in and he's going to just play a great game, and they're going to take it. I'll say 24-21 Colts.
You reading my notes? Because I'm picking the Colts. Surprisingly enough, you know who has the number 3 offense in terms of yards? The Colts. Number 3. It's pretty crazy, honestly. And the Titans have the number 1 points per games allowed, or points per game, whatever it is. Both teams are really interesting to watch. You see what the Titans can do on, at certain points of the season. Here you go. Here's a good game. But then it's like, well, what happens? 12-9. I don't understand. The defense has been the only thing I can really rely on every week of the season for the Titans, but their offense is crazy enough. And it's like, oh, well, they beat the Patriots and the Cowboys. They should beat the Colts. Divisional rivalries and divisional matchups provide some really wacky games overall. You can't really predict them all the time just based off which team is better, because any given week, a divisional team can beat the other. And the Colts winning 3 in a row, and that big win against the Jaguars last week was huge. That was a big momentum swinger in the right direction for them. Both of them are fighting for that wild card spot, that 6th seed. So this is a big, important matchup, and I think the Colts are just going to go out there and bomb. I think Andrew Luck's going to throw the ball around like crazy. Marlon Mack is going to be big in this game. And I'm really interested to see this game. I won't be able to watch it, but I am interested to go back and look at it to see what all is going to happen. But I just think the Colts are going to be just a little bit stronger in this department. It's weird seeing the Titans won last week against the Patriots, but I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. And yeah, like you said, it's funny that a team beats the Patriots and all of a sudden we're picking the team that, that lost to the Patriots, I guess, but lost, that's not really as good on paper. Like the Titans are a more talented team on paper, but like it's a divisional matchup, and usually the team at home gets a big favorite in that check mark beside their name. So I'm going with the Colts. In this next matchup, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks against the New York Giants. This is a 3-6 Bucks team against a 2-7 Giants team. This is an interesting game because I think both of these teams have significant flaws, but they also have really good strengths. The Bucs lost a game in which they had 490 yards last week. I don't know how that's possible.
They scored 3 points. They even scored a touchdown in that.
Scored 3 points. They didn't even, yeah, exactly. They didn't even score a touchdown. They had 490 yards. I've never heard of that. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it actually exists.
No.
So, coming in this week, I don't think things can be as bad as it was last week, And the Giants, I think, got a little lucky last week. And like I said, I'll say it again. I'll say it every week. All right? I'm not picking the Giants until they get rid of Eli, man. I don't care. I love you, Odell. I know you said that you're going to run the table, but I don't believe you, bro. I just don't believe you. So I'm going to go with the Bucs. I just think they're a more talented football team. I think their offense is more consistent. It's more explosive. And as long as they don't turn the ball over, they should win this game. I hate picking both of these teams, but you got to pick one. I know that they're the road team, but I'm going to go with Fitzpatrick, better quarterback right now than Eli. I'm going with that receiving core. I'm going with that team. And I think the front of the Bucs can slow down Saquon a little bit in the run game. So I'm concerned about Odell going off. But overall, I just think the Bucs can outlast the Giants in a shootout like they pretty much have all year. I mean, the Bucs offense is ranked first in yards per game. So I'm going with the Bucs.
So it's so weird. I'm picking the Bucs. Giants are garbage. They somehow got a win on Monday Night Football. Don't really understand why. Did I say Eli was garbage? I'm gonna just put that in there if I didn't, and he was. And I can't. Why am I gonna trust the Giants? Like there's a difference between me like thinking they can win and trusting them to go play 4 quarters of football to win, because they need to keep in that race to get the number 2, number 3 pick. They need to get their quarterback. So keep losing. And considering Eli's the quarterback, they'll continue to do so. So picking the Bucs. You know what? Honestly, I think the only reason they won on Monday Night Football was because it was a primetime game. That was the reason why they got that drive to go win that game. So that's not the case this week. Bucs.
Okay. Another huge matchup this week. 2 6-3 teams, Dylan.
Ooh.
Houston at Washington. Okay. First in the AFC South, first in the NFC East. I'm sure your Cowboys will have an eye on this one.
Yes.
I'm sure the Colts and Titans will have an eye on this one. This is a big game. This is a big playoff shaker-upper. And this is tough because Washington, they thoroughly got outplayed, but they still won by 14 points?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tough to judge the Washington Redskins, because I was saying this to a classmate today. He's a big Cowboys guy. Shout out to him. And I was saying Washington and Dallas are very hard because they're the same team. And what I mean by that is the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins, if they do not play with the lead early in the game, they are 100% going to lose the game. That's just how I feel. If the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins are not leading in the first quarter, they are going to lose the game. Look at the Washington Redskins right now, for example. The Washington Redskins are an extreme example of this. They have not won a game that they've been trailing, and they have not lost a game they have been winning. So that being said, that's the Alex Smith football in you. He doesn't really turn it over, but he's not going to take a lot of chances. As for Houston, I think they are just a little bit more explosive, and I'm not as high on the Washington defense as I once was. So that is the reason I'm going to go with Houston. I just think they're slightly more talented and they have a little bit more of that wild card in them, I think. There's an equal performance that they lay an egg here, and Washington's kind of more consistent. But at the same time, I just think Houston has a lot more just game breakers. They have Deshaun Watson. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Jadeveon Clowney. They have J.J. Watt. They have these players that will just win you games. So that being said, even though they're the road team and it's a game between 2 very close teams, I'm going to go with the team with more balls more capability to make plays. And if the Texans do get a lead, they're winning this one. So I'm going with the Texans.
We're going to agree a lot this week. I don't know why. I'm picking the Texans in this game as well. According to Bodo, Washington is only +1 in the points department this season. I don't know if that's accurate, but he's giving me the stats there. So that's really sad for a 6-3 football team. I don't know if y'all know that. The Washington offense is just very formulaic, unless if AP goes off and does his thing, which I like to see. Of course, I'm a big AP fan, but unless if he does that, this offense doesn't have a lot.
Which I would counter. The Texans are 6th against the run, 92 yards per game.
Oh, there you go. That's even harder for him to see that offensive spark go off. Jamison Crowder, he might be coming back. He's missed the last 5 games, but as a whole, this offense doesn't really satisfy me. It's one of the more boring offenses in the league. And while I do like the defense that the Redskins can create at certain points, because their game against the Falcons was awful, I think the Texans are just a more complete team, and they realize that they want to set themselves up pretty good in the AFC because they're 6-3. They're the number 4 seed. They're the 4th seed? Okay. So they want to continue to keep winning football games so they don't fall any behind, or, some other team in their division drastically gets better with the Titans picking up steam. They're only 1 game behind. So with that being said, I just think the Texans are a bigger team, a better team, and more focused on getting this win. And I think the Redskins are bound to lose a game like this in this situation. So I'm going with the Texans.
I would also say I think that the Washington Redskins are ranked 25th versus the pass, and I would bet that they're amongst the league worst in giving up big passing plays. And that being said, I think Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins and that offense is known for that aspect of the game. So I think that's a big advantage for the Texans. This game will be close, but we're both riding with Houston. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Once we get past the 1 o'clock games, Eastern time, 1 o'clock, which is Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and then we'll finish with Dallas and Atlanta. We'll go to the comment section, and then we'll do that each time. So Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. This is a game that before the season was anticipated as one of the best going into the year because we all thought that Jacksonville was going to be this juggernaut squad, but last week was their last chance. Cutting you off, Blake. I'm cutting you off, Leonard, even though you played really well and gave your team a fighting chance. I'm cutting you off, Jalen. I'm cutting you off, Jacksonville. I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. No more belief in this fella in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going Pittsburgh. They're 6-2-1. They need to keep winning because there's New England, there's Kansas City, and there's all these teams that are trying to get those buys, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are right in that conversation. They need to keep winning, and they need to exercise demons. They need to beat Jacksonville. They lost to them 2 times last year, and what happened? Boom! Hit in the mouth. You lose. Boom! Hit in the mouth. You get run over by Leonard Fournette. You get beat down on defense. You get strip sacked. You get picked off. That's not going to happen this time. Big Ben's going to be focused. They're not going to be looking ahead at the New England Patriots or anybody else. The Steelers are going to be ready to go, and they're going to take this one, and they're going to win it. And they're going to win it by 10+. Steelers.
Maybe my Tomlin comes out Thursday, Friday, says, you know what, we're looking to week 15. I wouldn't put it past him. That being said, Jalen Ramsey, he is the genie, from Aladdin. But instead of predicting the future, he predicted the opposite of what was going to happen. Everything that he says was going to be turned to shit by the end of the year. And now they're 3-6. I lost hope in this team when they lost to the Texans a couple weeks ago. I think they made them 3-4 at that point, maybe something around there. This team's not good. I don't even think Blake Bortles has an interception in the last 3 games. Still, they're not good. As a complete full team, they're not very good. And just Pittsburgh's going to dominate them. You saw 52-21 against the Panthers, and they're a better team. So Pittsburgh's going to win. They have to win because they keep their pride because, again, this is the Jags matchup they wanted to skip over last year. They have to win, and they'll do it pretty easily.
The Dallas Cowboys.
All right. This is an interesting matchup. Cowboys, Falcons, 2-4-5 teams. Falcons had a pretty bad game against the Browns. What? The Cowboys, Sunday Night Football was here, and they played the Eagles on the road, which was a very big game for them. They needed to stay alive in the playoffs. If they wanted a chance at the playoffs, they needed to win against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they did so. Eagles were talking a whole lot of trash, but that's a different matter. The biggest thing I saw to the Cowboys was that, again, there were certain drives in the first quarter. I'm like, dude, we need to score a touchdown. It's not going well. But there was good offensive drives and the spark of Zeke Elliott. When you get the man rolling, he's going to help you win football games. Easy enough. It should be easy enough. 151 yards rushing, 36 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns overall. He helped that offense be a lot better than what was going to than necessary. So, what seeing out of the Cowboys was just a good thing overall. And seeing Leighton Vander Esch go off on defense last week was great. It was a awesome sight to see, and that third down tackle was huge. That being said, I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons in this game for a couple of reasons. One, I picked against my Cowboys last week.
What?
Yeah, I'm picking the Falcons.
Say that again.
I am picking the Falcons to beat the Cowboys.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I'm picking the Falcons to beat the Cowboys this week.
Atlanta Falcons?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh.
This is a little Jedi mind trick. I picked the Cowboys to lose last week, and they won. So if I pick them to lose every week and they win, this could help. Okay, that's the biggest reason. But I'm going to give I'll give an explanation as to why the Falcons could win. Obviously, they have a great offense. Matt Ryan, when he goes, he can really go. Julio Jones is the number one, one of the best receivers in the game. Still, he'll collect a lot of yards, even against a really good defense for the Dallas Cowboys. And the defense for the Falcons is what it is. It's not great. It's kind of near the bottom. But the biggest thing for me to see is, will the Falcons be able to keep driving down the field and scoring touchdowns? And I think the Falcons are capable of doing that. I don't know if the Cowboys offense is capable of keeping up with the Falcons if they score, 4 or 5 touchdowns, if they're able to keep that pace. And even though it's a way different game than last year, we saw the Falcons and what they can do against the Cowboys last year. So, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to support the Cowboys, but I'm picking the Falcons in this game.
Yeah, bro, I don't know picking.
You don't know?
And I'm echoing. Oh. Yo. Okay.
Yo. Here you go.
Cowboys.
I threw you a curveball there.
Falcons. Falcons destroyed them last year, 27-7.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Adrian Claiborne game.
It's a lot different game than last year.
Cowboys. I like their defense. I don't know what happened to the Atlanta Falcons last week. I don't know. They just came in and they pulled a New England Patriots, and they just laid an egg.
Mm-hmm.
But Atlanta's offense is a lot more reliable than Dallas's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to get from Dallas from week to week.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. And I don't know how Jason Garrett and this team is going to deal with winning a game against the Eagles. Like, honestly, I don't know if their head's going to be up their booties. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the Falcons that much either. They're 30th in defense. I honestly don't know who I'm picking. Like, I'm not just drawing this out because I'm just trying to be dramatic. Usually that's the case, Dylan.
You are dramatic.
I actually don't know who I'm picking. So, for that being said,
I have flipping a coin. Oh God!
It's a Canadian quarter. I have a head,
spooky,
and I have a moose, and that's the way we're going. So tails,
of course, the Canadian quarter.
Tails is the cowboy. It is heads. I am picking the Atlanta Falcons.
I wish we would have differed for once, though. I thought that was going to be the one.
20 Falcons.
And by the way, every time the Cowboys have lost, Mitch has picked the Cowboys. Every time they've won, he picks against them. So, it is what it is. Maybe this will help me out too.
Very true. So that means I am 5-4 against Dallas. And you are 4-5.
Yeah. Well, no, I picked the Cowboys every game.
Exactly.
So
before you're
actually
5-4.
Yeah, no, I'm 5-4 because I picked against them last week. So, wait, no, I didn't pick again. Wait.
Well, yeah, then you would have lost another one. What?
Oh, I forgot, honestly. No,
anyway.
I picked against them and they won. Yeah.
Okay.
I picked against them and they won.
So we're both picking Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Quarter, for the appearance on the show. Let's get to the chat, Dylan. What are they saying in the chat?
The chat. There's a lot of chat. It went all the way to the top, so we got a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of guys in the chat. Darren, Robot Guy, Michael Sachs, obviously the big Saints fan. He's excited. Dirk Cat, Ultra, everybody's in here. Let's see.
Oh, I just want to shout out Ultra. He's been time stamping our vids, and he's going to have a hell of a time stamping this one. So just,
yes.
Thank you for doing that and showing up and being the man. So Ultra, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, very much. Thank you. That is a very hard job to do.
Yeah, a lot of fans have been saying, you guys need to timestamp this video. You guys need to do it. So now we have somebody that actually does it. So that's awesome.
Make fun of the people that watch our content.
You can thank Ultra.
Coach is in here as well. Ultra says the Jags are terrible. They're DUNE. And we both agree with that sentiment. Sebastian's power rankings of the week here. We got Saints at number 1, Chiefs 2, Rams 3, Chargers 4, Steelers 5, Bears 6, Patriots 7th, Vikings 8th, Redskins 9, and the Panthers 10th.
I wish I could see these.
Can't see the chat?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Who is it?
Sebastian.
Oh, Sebastian.
It's near the very top. Near the very top of the comments.
Okay. I'm looking. You can comment.
I'm not a fan of the Redskins over there at number 9. Not a big fan of that. Panthers, they kind of laid a goose egg, but I don't know if they're probably still like at the 10th position for now. The rest of it I like. I think it's a very solid list. I would put the Patriots 6th and the Bears 7th just because the Patriots beat the Bears. So
yeah, and I would probably switch the Steelers and Chargers. And I would switch the Panthers and Redskins, probably. Yeah. But I think you got the right 10 teams. I think it's just the order for me.
Order.
And I really don't like the Redskins being in the top 10, but I mean it is what it is.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the Reds.
Honestly, I think the Texans are better, which we'll see this week.
Yeah, I guess so. Graham is in the chat. He says Green Bay's going to win tomorrow. Of course, he's a Green Bay fan, so he's got to pick his team. Ultra's got his top 10, of course, so his famous top 10. Saints 1, Chiefs 2, Rams 3, Chargers 4. This looks like the exact same list. Patriots are flipped with the Bears at 6 and 7, so that's one of the things. He's got the Panthers 9th and the Texans 10. So basically, exactly what you said is your list, except for the Chargers and the Steelers are still at 4 and 5.
I did put out a list on Sunday, I think. Yeah. So if you follow us on Twitter, you would find that list at Mitch Milani and at WrestlingGod27. # cheap plug.
Cheap plugs. Go follow our Twitters. And those in the bottom of your Instagram. Don't forget that.
Yes, which we haven't posted on in a few days.
Well, we'll get to it. We need to get what you post. Robot Guy says, don't sleep on Kevole Seahawks. Everybody supporting Kevole Seahawks.
Don't do it.
Of course they're going to do it, but we're not. Well, for this game, we're not going to sleep on his Seahawks tonight. People are picking Seattle. A lot of fans over here looking for Seattle. Bodo saying the Sea Chickens need to run with Penny. Run with Penny. And a returning Chris Carson. Coach is taking the Hawks 24-17. Also, Rodgers is going to be under pressure all game, and mistakes will happen.
Mm.
Robot Guy's got his DUNE teams, multiple teams. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Falcons, and the Slackers. All 4 of them. That's a pretty interesting. Slackers. That's what he put. Not me, but that's what he's got. Let's see. Cincinnati is looking like the favorite in the a couple of people are picking Cincinnati. Coach is saying if Lamar starts, Cincy wins. He's not liking the rookie matchup so far.
I think the Bengals are done.
You think they're DUNE? I think they're DUNE.
I think they're done. I think they are French toast.
French toast is good though. I don't know if the Bengals are good. Who do you think Le'Veon is going to sign with next or get traded to? Because
I'm going to say some team like the Jets. It's going to be like the Jets.
Picking the Jets?
It's going to be a team with a lot of cap that wants to help their young quarterback.
I'm thinking Eagles. I don't want it to be the Eagles.
They have the money. That's the problem. Like, I don't think they have this stability to do that. Like, enough cap. I think they are looking ahead to signing Carson Wentz.
He's got 1 more year on his rookie contract,
something like that. But still, I just don't think they're a team that really puts that much into the running back position. I think they would rather sign.
Look into it. Their run game is not very good right now.
No, I know. They need him, and if he was more affordable, I think they would. And I also think they'll go after someone else, but I just don't see it being Le'Veon because I think his price is too high. Like, I think it has to be a team, like possibly the Colts, but like, the Colts, Frank Reich comes from the Eagles. I just don't think those teams put a lot of stock into a star running back. I think they'd rather have 2 to 3 running backs and just go that way and sign other players. Like, I think like a team like the Jets, the Bills, the Bucks, maybe like one of these teams is going to go after him. I think personally.
Bucks will go for it for sure. It's just I think it depends. I think if you have the money,
opinion. That's just the way I look at it from historical standpoint. But
it'll be interesting either way. We'll see how it goes there for sure. That's just who I'm going to put my bet on for now. People are picking the Ravens, but they're not confident in them going forward in the playoffs or in the playoff race. Of course, Bodo's Lions will win for no reason. Comment is there. People are picking a little bit of both, a little bit of Panthers, a little bit of Lions for sure. Durkant's calling his own team trash, so don't come to me if they win games. They won't, but don't come to me winning games. They said they're a bum-ass 6 seed team. So
they're not even a 6 seed.
What's that?
The Dolphins making the playoffs made me yawn.
The idea of them.
I don't want to see that. It's not going to happen.
I mean, that's what they are right now, so we'll see. Now, I don't want it to happen. I want more entertaining games here, but coach is saying Titans on the roll. They destroyed the Patriots, but he's taking luck at home. So there you go. A lot of people on the Colts train, but Deshaun's got Tennessee winning by 16. Durkant says Colts win because they always beat the Titans. Bodo's says Titans are a very hit or miss team. Throw a coin. So that was his coin flip game, was the Titans and the Colts. There you go. Let's see. Durkant's taking the Colts. Aiden's taking the Colts. A lot of Colts play, surprisingly enough, even after the Patriots win last week. JPP, yes, he is returning to the Big Apple. He is facing against his former team this week. That's true. People are taking the Bucs. They can't trust Giants. They can't trust the Giants. You kidding me?
I can't pick them.
You can't. You kidding me? I want a quarterback matchup between him and Nathan Peterman. I want Eli and Nathan Peterman. That'd be great. I want to see that happen.
Oh,
that'd be great. It might be one of the most entertaining things on TV. Durkant's got the Skins winning this week. That's interesting. But a lot of people are picking the Texans in this one.
Fair enough.
Let's see. People they're not liking Jalen Ramsey. They don't like a lot of Jalen Ramsey in this chat. They're picking the Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, to win. Let's see. Deshaun thinks the Cowboys can beat Atlanta if they keep up the scoring pace, which is not an easy task to do for the Cowboys. Trust me, I've watched them for 9 games this year. Not an easy task. Deshaun's got a 24-10 Falcons victory. Bodo's saying he thinks that they can win. He's got to win for the Cowboys. That's weird to me. That's very weird to me. He's picking the boys. Of course, Ultra's going to pick his Cowboys. Let's see. Ghost Skittle says the quarter is better than AC. That's messed up. That is very messed up.
That's harsh.
The quarter. You're saying AC's not worth 25 cents? That's messed up.
Metal is better than AC.
Messed up.
That's rough.
It's rough. AC's the boy. You know what I'm saying? Ultra thinks the Redskins are overrated. Let's see. Just going down here. Yeah, people are not liking your French toast. People are liking the French toast, you know? Don't go roasting on the French toast.
I told you it's good.
I hope it's good. I'm just saying, French toast. Don't go be there. We need Brocktober in the playoffs. Brocktober. Wow. No. I have never said that. I've never said that line in my life until just right now.
I mean, you probably have because he did make the playoffs one year.
I didn't say Brocktober, though.
Oh.
I never wanted to support Brocktober. By the way, the playoffs start in January, so.
Branuary.
Branuary. Just cleanse myself away from that, please. That sounds awful. Let's see. Deshaun's talking about the Eagles are going to lose. We're going to talk about that game very shortly. We'll have much to say about the Eagles. Bodo's saying waffles are the best. No. That's all about
bad. I prefer waffles over pancakes.
All right. We got problems.
Honestly, I do.
We got problems. I'm a pancake guy. That's I mean, you know me. I like to eat. I'll eat anything. But
I honestly prefer waffles over pancakes.
But if it's with chicken, then we got a different issue.
You and your freaking chicken, bro.
That'll keep living on forever. All right, that is it for comments for now.
All right. Let's get back to the games with the game of the week. It is the 1-8 Oakland Raiders taking on the team in the desert. It's the Arizona Cardinals, 2-7, and they're heading to the desert because Oakland needs to get used to it because they're going to be their next door neighbors in Vegas very soon. A combined 3 wins, a combined 15 losses, and a combined very entertaining football game. You know, I'm going with the Cardinals. I think the Raiders, yes, play a little bit better against the Chargers, made it somewhat of, a competitive game, especially early on. But I really like what I've seen from the Cardinals as of late. Yes, they've played better football, and they made that game against the Chiefs somewhat close, especially up until like the early fourth quarter, and then the game just kind of unfolded, and the Chiefs are just far more talented, and they took over. But I think the Cardinals, yes, they don't have all the talent, but I think Byron Leftwich, what he's done with this offense is just been really, really sound and really, really good and not too overcomplicated. I mean, David Johnson, he's getting the football in many ways. They're using him as a receiver a lot more. They're using Larry Fitzgerald. They're using Ricky Seals-Jones. They're just using their players that are talented and getting them the football. It sounds amazingly complicated, but they're doing it. I mean, it's just great to watch. So David Johnson, he ran some routes last week where it was like, I thought it was a top-notch receiver. That's how impressive this guy is out of the backfield in that part of his game, and just really nice to watch. Their defense is sturdy and can make plays and can force turnovers. So that being said, I like the Cardinals in this game at home. I think they will force turnovers against Oakland. I think Oakland's offense will have a tough time scoring. And I think that Josh Rosen has looked a little bit better every week. Larry Fitzgerald is getting a ton of targets, and I like him to have a good game against his weak secondary. And I think David Johnson has another great game here. So I think the Cardinals do win this game, and I think they win it like 23-10.
Ghost Skittle saying KFC has chicken and waffles. That just disgusts me in every way, shape, and form. Okay, that was more entertaining to me than this Cardinals Raiders matchup, honestly. I did watch a little bit of the Cardinals. I watched them play the Chiefs, and what happened was at halftime, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go pick up my check from work, whatever. I stayed there for a little bit. I missed the third quarter. I came back, and it was a 1-possession game, and I was like, what's going on? What is this? I'm not used to this. The thing is that even though the Chiefs won, and we'll talk about the Chiefs, The Cardinals played with heart. They played with intensity. They tried to win the football game. And it just came down to the fact that the Chiefs were a better team as a whole. And even though this Cardinals team has a very bad record, they're better than the Raiders because the Raiders are trying to tank without saying that they're trying to tank. They have a 51% chance to win the number one pick in the 2018 NFL draft right now. Like, we still have 7 more weeks to play. So that's really sad. Cardinals are going to win this game. They just got better players. They got better talent. Like you said, offense, there's good talent. David Johnson had his best game of the season so far last week. Ricky Seals-Jones played well. Larry Fitzgerald, still a beast if you throw the ball to him. And Josh Rosen, even though he had 2 picks, I think he's going to do better against this Raiders defense. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Okay. So we get that game out of the way. The Broncos at the Chargers, an AFC West showdown in LA, where there will probably be more Broncos fans than Chargers fans. Sorry, Chargers. They really need to figure that home field out.
They're going back to San Diego, bro. They're going back. What just happened? Oh no. Oh God, he's gonna break. He's gonna give himself a back spasm doing this one time.
Chargers. I'm going with the LA Chargers. Are going to continue to roll. They see the Chiefs. They're playing the Rams. It's now in LA. They might even go to that game to watch. Who knows? The LA Chargers will be basically tied with the Chiefs because they still play them one more time. They lost to them once, but if they beat them that other time, they have a chance to win this division, get a bye, and be that superstar team in the AFC. And this week, they're looking at that game on Monday night. They're saying, hey, can the Rams, our neighbors, do us a little bit of a favor this week? Chargers, they're going to roll against the Broncos. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run it with passion. Melvin Gordon, he is going to destroy the Broncos. All right? Keenan Allen, he's going to have a game. Phillip Rivers, MVP conversation. Take these Chargers seriously. Yes, they didn't have their greatest performance last week, but they still came out on top in comfortable fashion. They're waiting for Joey to come back. And once they get him, they're a legitimate contender. Remember, this team only has 2 losses.
2.
They only, Dylan, 2.
It was the Chiefs and the Rams. Chiefs and the Rams.
Yes, they are going to win this game. They need to win this game, and they will win this game. Chargers.
First of all, if you get a back spasm while you're there and you do that, I can't do much about it. I'm sorry. I'm too far away. The Chargers are going to win this game. It's too easy. Too easy, man. The Broncos, they got their players. They got what they're going, but the Chargers are too good. Joey Bosa practiced for the first time since August today, so he's coming back. Probably not in this game, but next week probably. So that's good for them. It's a great team that's gonna get even better with Joey Bosa on the field. And this team needs to stay well in the division. They're 7-2. If they win this game and the Chiefs lose, they'll be in a pretty good position going forward, knowing that they're only 1 game behind because of that game that they lost, and plus the Chiefs still need to take a bye the next week. So Chargers are going to win this game, pretty self-explanatory. But again, like Ghost Skittle said, how many games do the Broncos play at home? This is like their 11th game of the season where they played at home. This is another home game. They're going to have more home fans.
That's true, yeah.
They're going to have more fans.
Really think about that, but that's true. This is their 13th game at home this year.
It's crazy. They're going to have more fans. So it's a little messed up. But, yeah.
They've played 9 games, but this is their 13th game at home so far.
We're factoring in everything,
All right. Next, the game that you guys wanted to talk about. Philadelphia, New Orleans. I don't know if you know the spread for this game, Dylan. Do you know the spread of this game?
I do not, off the top of my head.
You guess the spread. Remember, Super Bowl champion Eagles. Hottest in the NFL, Saints.
Let's go with a fair -7 for the Saints.
Saints are -9.
Jesus Christ.
Against the Super Bowl champions who just lost to the Dallas Cowboys. My problem with the Eagles. All right. It stems All right, it stems. It's not even that they beat the Patriots. Honestly, I don't even. That's not even part of the reason at all.
You preface that a lot before you go on a rant about the Eagles.
I have to though, because people could be like, they beat the Patriots. That's what you're doing again. No, I don't like the Eagles. Right? This is why I don't like the Eagles. I've said it many times. All right. Doug Peterson writes a book after he wins one Super Bowl and calls Doug Marrone and every other coach an idiot and basically says he changed football forever because he's a genius. All right. That's the first thing. All right. You don't see Bill Belichick writing a book, calling himself a genius, calling everybody else idiots. He doesn't do that.
I don't know if he's going to write a book, but I want to see that fucking.
Should. All right. But I'm just saying, Doug Peterson, you're no Bill Belichick. You can't do that. Okay. Second thing. All right. Lane Johnson, he's having fun here. He'd rather win one Super Bowl than 5. Okay. All right. Then we have them coming in this year. They're looking like, we're the political team. All right. I don't care. You guys can be cool. You guys can talk about politics, all that. I don't care. Be bigger than football, whatever you want to say. But focus. If you're not winning, I think you need to go back to winning. Okay. You need to figure out your team before you figure out all this other crap. Stop getting in fights with people off the field. Focus on your freaking team. Focus on the field, all right? You're losing. If I was an Eagles fan, I would be pissed off because this team was supposed to be legitimate. This team is supposed to be a Super Bowl caliber team. This team is supposed to have back-to-back in their mind. No, they don't, all right? You could consider them maybe a fluke from last year. Are they a fluke? Maybe they're a fluke from last year because this offensive line, I just broke a pot. They suck. I didn't break it, but it fell. They suck. They can't block. All right. Carson Wentz is running around. These receivers, they have no deep passing game. None. Zach Ertz is catching every ball for 5 yards. Whipty Kaye. Okay. Their run game is crap. Their defensive line doesn't dominate. Their corners, every time they play man, they get burnt for 70 yards. So all I'm saying is the Eagles fluke last year, and they're still they were talking shit in the offseason. They don't back it up. Where are you backing this up? At least when the Seahawks talk shit, they would back it up. All right? This team is not the new way of football. This team is just crap. They're like everybody else. All right? They want to talk shit, and they don't back it up. All right? Stop talking shit every single time you win a Super Bowl or do something fancy. You have to do it over multiple years until you can write a book. That's all I'm trying to say. Eagles are going to get absolutely fucking destroyed in this game. They're going to lose 38-10. Done. D-U-N-E.
Well, there seemed like some personal vendetta against that, and that was fun. But I'm going to give my reasons as to why the Saints will win against the Eagles and put a little stats in there. The Eagles have the hardest schedule left in the NFL this year, which doesn't bode well considering there are 4 and 5 teams still trying to make the playoffs and win their own division. They have a lot of hard teams they got to play, and the Saints, who are the number 1 team in football right now, are the biggest challenge ahead. Drew Brees just put up 51 against the Bengals, pretty crazy stuff. And overall, Philadelphia, they lost Ronald Darby. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year. If anything, that would have helped him out, but now that he's not going to be playing, it hurts their team. Their run game is no longer a factor. Golden Tate didn't do much in his first game. Is he going to do more this week? Probably, but nothing much more has come out of that offense. And Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz was the only really great thing that I saw on Sunday Night Football when I did my recap a couple nights ago. You guys saw that, but I just didn't really see anything else that was going to bring this team amazing. So I think they are DUNE. Make them at 4. If you put them at 4-6, it's a very difficult task to keep them going forward in the season. It's really just a hard game to see the Eagles win. Can they win? Maybe by some sliver. This could be a trap game. Maybe the Saints are a little bit high on what they're doing. But if you just see what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, they've been playing really great football. Offense is keeping going. 45 and 51 points in the last 2 games. Are you kidding me? How are you going to stop that? Even if you are a different team, even if you are one of the best defenses, you're not going to stop them there very easily. So that being said, I think Saints are going to win. They have the advantage, and it's going to take a monster game from all across the board to get the win against the Saints.
I got 3 more things to say.
Oh, my God.
3 more things.
3 more.
3. Check the comments real quick. Ultra makes a great point. AC's whole thing last year, this is not a shot at AC. This is a shot at the Eagles. Their whole thing last year is that, and this is partly what I was saying earlier, they said that you can have fun and win football games and do all this, and this is the new way of running a team and an organization. Their whole thing last year was that all their egos are aside and they're doing this and they're winning games. Where is that now? Where is it now? Not happening. Okay. Second thing, this should have been the NFC Championship last year. And the Saints, I think, are going to show that they can beat this defense. And third thing is their DUNE. Their DUNE. They're done. I can't rely on them to do the one thing they did. I can't rely on them to do the one thing they've been good at for the last 2 years. Last week, I did not expect the Cowboys, no disrespect to the Cowboys, I did not expect them to run the football the way they did last week. There is no way that the Eagles team last year would let the Cowboys on their home field run for over 100 yards. No chance in Vince McMahon. No chance.
150.
150 yards, over 100. The Eagles were a top team against the run. The one thing they do really well, and they get destroyed in that fast of the game last week. That's the reason they lost. This week, I can't count on them to do anything. Carson Wentz is great. I can't count on anyone else. I can't. I'm just done with this team. I can't. Okay? That's it. Vikings, Bears. Can we give a round of applause for Mitchell Trubisky?
I would not be one of those people in that celebration.
Man, did you see the clip of Phil Simms last week? The boy Phil Simms, the old man Phil Simms, comes out and says, where are those people talking about Mitch Trubisky? I loved it. It was fiery. It was awesome. Mitch Trubisky coming out, my boy, getting it done. On fire last week against the Detroit Lions, playing really good football. This team is the team that proved me right, Dylan. Who is on the Bears?
The team, Mitchell Trubisky.
I was on the Bears, 6-3. Now they have their chance. They're playing the 5-3-1 Minnesota Vikings. This is for first place right now in the NFC North. Don't worry about the slackers. They're not in the conversation. You got the Bears. You got the Vikings. They're looking for the playoffs right now. And this is the chance for the Bears, the healthy Bears. Khalil Mack is back, and he's going to attack. And the Bears are going to come in. They're going to win because they are at home. Mitch Trubisky's balling. He's making plays. I honestly believe, I think, again, bad offensive lines don't travel well, especially when you're playing the guy that bulldozes 3 offensive linemen for a sack. Khalil Mack's going to be a savage. He's going to be the difference in this game. The Bears are going to win because of that fact. I also really like what Matt Nagy can scheme up against his defense. I think you got to put Trubisky in the conversation for the hardest quarterback to tackle in the league. This guy can't be tackled. He's so evasive. Bro, he's everywhere. He just makes people miss. I don't know how he does it. Okay? You can say all you want. He's getting it done right now. The Bears are getting it done. I like the weapons. They have Cohen. They have Howard in the run game. Burton at tight end. Gabriel. Allen Robinson, big game last week. I don't know, man. I think the Bears are just playing better football right now. And I think that offensive line is not going to run the ball efficiently. And I think they're going to put Kirk in bad situations. And I love Kirk Cousins. We know I love Kirk Cousins. And Adam Thielen's going to get his plays. But I don't know. It's Sunday night. And until Kirk Cousins says, I'm going to win a Sunday night big game, I don't know if they can win it. And this defense isn't the same it used to be. So I'm going with the Bears. I like the Bears at home. I'm taking the home team here.
I'd honestly pick the upset if it wasn't for 2 things. 1, the Bears are at home. And 2, Khalil Mack is a fucking savage. This guy will kill anybody no matter what it was. That tackle on the Lions last week, it felt like a high school. That should have been high school highlights. You push a man over in high school, not in the NFL when these guys are freaking massive. That being said, the Bears are playing consistent. Gabriel has been shit. Didn't even have a catch last week, so I'm not even thinking about him for a minute. But the rest of their group, Anthony Miller had a great game. Allen Robinson's been playing very well. Overall, this Bears offense is getting stuff done. And then you look at that defense, and you're thinking, wow, who wants to play this defense? And especially against the Vikings offensive line, which I'm not going to rely on at this moment. I can't rely on their run game. It's all going to rely on what Kirk Cousins can do with the football. And I like what Kirk Cousins brings. I'm a fan of what Kirk Cousins is as a whole. He's a leader. He's going to help the Vikings. That being said, they're destined to get the 5th or 6th seed. They can't. Will they win this game? If they win this game, I'm going to put them up on a higher pedestal. And I think they're still a good team. But you're playing you're playing the Bears. They're hot as hell. And they've got everything going for them right now. And until they get stopped, I can't pick against them. If it was in Minnesota, I'd pick maybe the upset because, again, divisional matchups can provide some very wonky results. But I'm going to pick the Bears. Just too much going for them right now.
All right. Is this a game of the year?
This is a game of the decade. What are you talking about?
Is this the game of the future?
It's the game of the future.
Do you think this is honestly, because we always say that, but like, does it actually come true? Like, never.
We
always claim teams to be the team of the future, but
okay, it should be. This is on paper.
It's 2 9-1 teams. It's AFC versus NFC. It's Monday Night Football. It's the best Monday Night Football game in
years.
Yeah, a long time. It was supposed to be in Mexico City, but it's now in LA. I don't know who I'm picking. I'm gonna let you start, actually, because I've started the whole time. So you can start this one.
This is a very interesting time to let me start here.
Yeah, I really don't know. I'm flipping back and forth. I have a good argument for both teams. I'll make that argument once you finish your pick, but
okay, so some interesting things. Of course, these two teams combined for an 18-2 record. The over-under is the highest for a regular season game in 33 years. 33. Since 64 over-under, which for Vegas is crazy. That's insane.
It's the highest since Marty McFly went back in time in 1985.
All right, that's insane. Back to the Future. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? 33 years.
I don't know what game was it.
I have no idea. I'd have to look it up.
1985. They were booing 64-point over-unders.
Yeah.
They must have been two crappy defenses.
Shitty defense. That being said, I'm really looking forward to this game. This has been one I've been pumping out since these teams were doing amazingly well. Kansas City's offense, you know what they bring to the table. Patrick Mahomes, who I'm still putting at the number 1 on my leaderboard for MVP. 31 touchdowns. The guy can make amazing throws. He's crazy good. Kareem Hunt, earlier in the year, a little bit of a disappointment, but has blossomed into one of the top 5 running backs in the game. I'm saying it right now. His production is great. He could run the ball effectively. He's a great catcher out of the backfield. Awesome stuff. Tyreek Hill. How can you stop him? Marcus Peters is going to shit his pants on the field when he has to play Tyreek Hill. He says, "Coach,
revenge game."
Revenge game. Yeah, because he used to play. But he's going to be like, "Coach, take me out." He already has 120 receiving yards, and we're in the first quarter. Stop it, please. God almighty. It's going to be a terrible matchup for him. But Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, who's been the second-ish best tight end in the game this season. Great effectiveness from the offense. They can go to multiple different weapons. Their defense is still probably, you know what? The Bengals have been worse. So the second worst defense, around there in the entire NFL, at least bottom 5. The Rams, you see what Jared Goff has done. He's been able to give his team that spark. He's trying to be that leader, and his stats have been pretty good up to this season. Todd Gurley, another MVP candidate playing in this game, has scored a touchdown, I believe, the last at least 16. I don't remember exactly the number off the top of my head, but consecutive touchdowns or consecutive games with a touchdown. He's obviously been very effective. The biggest knock I have right now is that Cooper Kupp's out for the year. It really sucks to see that Cooper Kupp is out for the year. But Brandon Cooks has still been doing well. Robert Woods is still very good. Josh Reynolds, I think, is going to come into own this week. And Higbee, who I didn't even pick as the better tight end 2 weeks ago, scored 2 touchdowns last week. So I guess, if they want to help themselves out and give them a little added bonus, why not? Their defensive line has been very, very good. You saw what Aaron Donald did last week. It was crazy. He picked up a ball and was running faster than I've ever seen a man run for that size. So that's scary. Both of these teams are really, really good. This could be a Super Bowl matchup. I've been thinking about this one for all week, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I'm going to stick with the Chiefs. First off, I know they had to do this, but it's very unfair to give LA this as another home game. Like, I don't know if they could have figured out anything in less time, but it really sucks that Chiefs have to play in LA. But I just think the offense is going to create this spark. They're going to continue to roll high. I think Kareem Hunt will not be stopped in this game by the Rams defense. I do not start either of these defenses in fantasy. You will not get points. You will get negative points if you start either of these defenses. I will guarantee you that. So I think it just comes down to the effectiveness of both offenses and maybe one crucial stop from a defense, one crucial stop in the fourth quarter. And I think the Chiefs are just going to get it done and put the pressure on the Rams, and the Rams are going to have to go out there and score a lot. Like, each team is going to have to score probably 3 out of their 4 drives. So with that being said, I think the Chiefs are going to get it done. And the Rams can still win, no doubt about it, but I'm just going with the Chiefs here.
This is so hard.
It's the hardest one all year.
Man, because okay, this is what's running through my head. This is why I'm having such a hard time. Because on one side, we have the Chiefs, which Dylan is picking. Okay, we have Patrick Mahomes, I believe, to be the MVP right now in the league. I believe for any quarterback to be making the most plays independent of, anything. I think he just makes incredible plays with the ball, the ability to scramble and make incredible throws from every angle, and the ability to create, different unique abilities for their offense. And you have Kareem Hunt, who is balling, and then you have Tyreek Hill, who's a 1-play touchdown. Then you have Travis Kelce, who's awesome. Then you have, just an offense that seems to be unstoppable every week. Nobody stopped them. And then you have a defense where they haven't been good, but I mean, they still have a couple of players. Like, they have Justin Houston and Dee Ford, where they can make a couple of plays. But just for me, the Chiefs, they have such a dynamic offense, and they also have a coach in Andy Reid who has pulled out such unique plays that a lot of teams just can't seem to stop. And on the other side, you have the Rams, and the Rams are at home. And I know that the Rams don't have the best home field advantage, but it's still better than playing in Kansas City. And that offense is really, really good. And Todd Gurley is in the MVP conversation. To me, he would probably be second. And their offensive line, I think, is better than the Kansas City Chiefs. And yeah, they lost, Cooper Kupp, but Brandon Cooks can make plays down the field. And yeah, they don't have like a Tyreek Hill, and they might not even have a Travis Kelce, but Sean McVay is doing some very nice things. And I think Reynolds is pretty good. Like, I don't think he is bad.
He's filling that third role pretty good.
I do think they're going to have to add a little bit more of their tight ends in there to make some plays. I think they're going to have to rely on them a little bit more. But the thing with the Rams is why I'm like thinking of going with the Rams is the Chiefs don't have Aaron Donald.
No, they don't.
They don't have it. Aaron Donald is, I'm willing to say, one of the best defensive players of all time already. He has 12 sacks. He's a defensive tackle. He has 12 sacks in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
12 sacks in 10 weeks. He's a defensive tackle. All right. They added Fowler. They have Sue. Yeah, their secondary gives up big plays, and I'm really concerned. This is so close, so tough. I don't know, Dylan. I'm struggling.
Pick the Rams.
And I don't want to, like, there's a thing, like, the Rams have not looked as good lately as the Chiefs. The Chiefs have looked better. They've played better football. And I think the Rams have struggled more on defense, to be honest, lately.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to that one play, I just don't know. But then there's also the fact that they have Wade Phillips. And Wade Phillips, the Cardinals last week, I thought did a really good job against the Chiefs. And I feel like they have similar schemes and they can do similar things. And then also, Wade Phillips has experience with the Broncos playing against the Chiefs.
That's true.
It's so close.
Take the Rams, bro. We got to separate on one game.
I guess we will. I'll go with the Rams because I'll also be cheering for the Rams because I want the Chiefs to lose because I'm a Patriots fan. That's fair enough. Is that not fair?
In terms of standings, or you just don't like the Chiefs?
No, I don't mind the Chiefs at all. I just in terms of I want the Patriots to get a bye or something,
Yes.
So I'm cheering for the Rams. So I'll go with the Rams, but this is so hard. So hard because I can see both sides of the argument. But let's roll with Kid Genius and Sean McVay. Let's go with it.
Kid Genius.
Let's do it.
Kid Genius. I ain't fucking with that one.
Let's do it.
All right, so there you go. That's the one game we disagree on, but even then, it wasn't a very hard disagree. It was could go either way. So we will be streaming that, obviously, of course. Why not? We've already streamed 4 of the 6 highest scoring games this season. Let's add to one, just basically as a freebie. Yeah. Let's go to comments real quick before we head out.
Bodo donated $20.
I was just about to bring that up. Bodo.
He said, random Pats fact, the last time the Pats was 7-3 is in 2013 and they lost the AFC Championship game. They did not lose the AFC Championship game to the good D and a mummy quarterback. That was actually the opposite. 2013, I don't know if you mean 2015 because that was the case in 2015. 2013, they lost to the Broncos, but it was their great offense, not their great defense.
That was the great 55 touchdown season from Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Let's see. I forgot where we left off on comments here. We gotta scroll up to it real quick. Okay. I got it. So people are picking Arizona, of course, because who cares about that game, honestly. Bodo, direct deposit, it's a big story. I tried it. It doesn't really work for my place. Ultra's bringing up that question. How many Broncos games do they play at home? 13. He said 13, so he agrees with you.
13 so far.
So far, wow.
Yeah. They still got some lined up. They're playing the schoolyard boys next door in another home game.
That's tough, though. Those schoolboy, they got to play
They're
in
tough,
that.
Man. They go for the knees,
Well, they got to play in the, what do you call it, the altitude. It's very high. It's not a very good situation for them.
Yeah.
Bodo's picking a big-time Chargers victory, 52-21. Jesus almighty, that's a big one.
I think the game will be like 38-34.
You think the Broncos are going to put 34 up on the board?
No. Chiefs, Rams.
Oh, I was like, what? We're talking about Chargers, Broncos. Okay.
No, Chargers will win 28-20.
Okay, that's fair. In the Chiefs-Rams game, I'm going to go, you know what? I just want to be super bold. I'm going to go 42-38. I want 80 total points in this game. 80. Just go all out, okay? Mr. Wong, he still can't get used to those LA Chargers. He's still a San Diego Chargers fan. The Dan Fouts days, if you will. Robot guy loves the Chargers thing, but I don't want him to blow his back out. I feel like he's going to do it one day, and it's not going to be fun. You guys want it, but I just don't want to see it, Let's see. Scrolling through. People are liking the Chargers, of course. Sebastian has a 40-24 victory for the Saints. It's a big-time victory, for sure. Deshaun's asking us who we think Nick Bosa is going to. I will still stick to the fact that the 49ers will get Nick Bosa.
Whoever gets the second or third pick in the draft.
A lot of defensive
49ers makes sense.
A lot of defensive.
It would be hilarious, Dylan, if Raiders picked him. Because they're basically picking.
I wonder what they did with the last.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, all right, here you go. Here's your number 1 pick. That would suck. There's only one quarterback really that's being looked at in the first round. There's a lot of defensive talent this year, so gonna have to
ask the people. I have a question for the people out there. What topic videos would they like to see coming up? Anything specific? Just throw out some ideas if you have a good one.
I like this idea too, personally. Ultra's picking a Saints victory in overtime against the Eagles, 34-28. Interesting.
I mean, it could be a trap game for the Saints, but I'm not. They're D-U-N-E, the Eagles. I'm done.
D-U-N-E. D-U-N-E. Saints 53-21. What's with the 53-21 score? I've seen that 3 different times. Wait, since the Steelers did it.
53-21?
Yes. It's the 3rd time I've seen that score.
For what?
For 3 different games. This one was for the Saints Eagles.
Oh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Party Parts picking a 35-31 game for the Eagles. He says it's a trap game for the Saints. Let's see here. He says he doesn't care if he sounds like a dumbass. He's going for the upset. So, okay. I mean, he knows the implications. I don't think you're a dumbass because you picked him, but Adam Vinatieri, he's gonna retire at 55. You just let him be there as long as he can possibly kick. How old is he right now? He's got to be
43, something like that.
It's like 45. Honestly, I don't know. I have to look that up. Yes, Ultra. Eddie Lacy is the greatest running back ever. He loves to go to Chinese takeout. He loves his waffles too. Don't forget the waffles.
Fantastic. Love him.
Fantastic. Continuing down. Mr. Wong, he dropped Anthony Miller last week before all that big stuff happened. That sucks. That's tough. Bodo says Vikings D is MIA this season. Yeah, they're not nearly as good as they were last year. Oh my God, they were so much better last year. What did we pick for the Colts-Titans game? We picked the Colts to win party. The Colts victory on that one.
Don't disappoint us.
Please. Very much rather not have that happen. A lot of people are picking a Browns victory, or not Browns, Bears victory this week against the Vikings. That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian's going with a 56-52 Rams victory over the Chiefs. If we see 108 points scored in this game, oh my, can we just quit the season? I mean, that's ridiculous. That'll be in the top 3 highest scoring games in NFL history. I'm pretty sure. Because Broncos Cowboys was 99, and that's the 5th highest scoring game back in 2013. What games are we streaming Sunday? I'm not sure. I know Mitch can stream, but I'm pretty sure.
I can. What game would you like me to?
The way you said it like that. I'm pretty much sure I can't because I got to do some homework and stuff, so apologies.
I'll throw out some ideas. Titans, Colts, Cowboys, Atlanta, Houston, Washington, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Eagles, Saints, and then recaps for – we're doing Monday.
Yeah, we're doing Monday. And I'll be on recap for Sunday. Well, no, I probably wouldn't even be on recap Sunday night if I'm going to watch Survivor Series.
Yeah, so between Dallas, Atlanta, Titans, Indy, you're really watching Survivor Series over doing a recap?
My friend's coming over.
I don't remember the last time I watched that. Titans, Colts, Cowboys, Atlanta, Houston, Washington, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville.
You going to judge me for watching my stuff? I see how it is. I see how it is.
Honestly, I am.
Well, fuck you then. I got a friend coming over. It is what it is.
I just can't anymore. It's
not great. It's not very good, but I just want.
Who's wrestling?
Well, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, what a joke. All right. Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Well, D. Bry won the title last night, so
I saw that.
You can watch your boy Shinsuke. You'll love him. Right?
He's trash. All right.
He'll fight Seth at the pay-per-view.
Next.
Ultra's picking up Bears 24-20 victory of the Vikings and a 42-37 win over the Rams. Very similar to my score. That's also the score of when the Chiefs beat the Steelers in week 2. Waivers pick up Doug Baldwin or Anthony Miller.
probably Doug.
I can't believe Doug's on a waiver wire at this point. I would pick Doug. I like it. Does the camera get an unfuzz? There we go. Yeah, I'd pick Doug. Where? Yes, we talked about the Chiefs moving to the game moving to LA. Saints 40, Eagles 17. That's from Michael Sachs. That's a big time Saints fan, so that's huge. Coach is taking the under. He cannot see the 64 points in this game. So, fair enough, man, but that's gonna be a tough one.
It would have to be 34-30. That's 64. 31, 33, 30. Yeah.
34-30 is pretty much, yeah.
32-32.
Yeah, let's get that game going. Woo! How many? That would be 5 field. Wait, how many field goals would that?
So if it's 34-31, it's over.
Yeah.
Which I said it's going to be 38-34, so that would be over.
Yeah, and mine's clearly over.
I don't think there's a chance it's in the 20s. Honestly.
No.
Honestly, I don't. I don't think there's one chance it's in the 20s.
Watch it be like 27.
Unless both quarterbacks get injured.
Both quarterbacks. Now, Patty Mahomes going to go off. He'll go off. Speaking of Razzle Dazzles, who is your MVP right now? I think we both said Pat
Mahomes. Thanks, guys, for voting on that. I hope you enjoyed that. There's going to be the YouTube just opened up those blog type posts to us for our channel, so we're going to be posting those like every Tuesday and Saturday.
Yeah, that was very successful. So thank you guys for that. Who are the most overhyped teams?
That's a topic idea. I wrote it down.
Oh, okay. That's the topic ideas. Okay, good.
And who is MVP and most overhyped teams?
Mm-hmm.
And most disappointing teams.
There you go. Most disappointing teams.
That's a good rant topic.
Mm-hmm.
Rip Stanley, exactly. Go Skittle knows.
Oh, Rip. Rest in peace. Big, he's a Ranger fan, And that is it for comments. That is it for comments.
All right. Well, it was a long one again.
Very long one.
Thank you guys for joining us. It was fun once again. Week number 11. It's going to be a lot of fun. You will see us Thursday, of course, for a recap. Hopefully, Kevole will be on to talk his Hawks. And we will have Sunday. One of the games will be streamed rather at 1 or 4. Haven't really decided yet. Eastern time. And Monday, we have a stream as well. And Sunday night, we have a recap. So all those are coming as well. Fantasy football 2 times this week. We have the Stardom and Sid'em on Friday or Saturday. And we have the Sunday morning, probably about 10 a.m. We're going to have a live stream. Me talking about the starts and sits and also answering your questions on who to start and who to sit in your lineup. So anything else to plug, Dylan? Are you making that video?
Yeah, it's coming out Friday. Who's
right.
better? Chiefs, Rams. You'll have to find out.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. For Mitch and Dylan in the Bottom Line View. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Deuces.
Peace.